Let me welcome you to my channel. Before we begin the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this post. Jill said, "So much fun." When her 19 kids and counting star, her husband Derek, and their 3 children visited a unique Little Rock eatery. On Wednesday, October 2, the 19 kids and counting star, 33, and her husband Derek, 35, set out with their children, Israel David, 9, Samuel Scott, 7, and Frederick, Freddie, 2. Jill posted an Instagram video showing her getting ready for the vacation, including dumping the family dog Fenna at a boarding house and visiting the local library to check out several Magic Treehouse series books before she left. Then she posted highlights from the first day of the road trip on her Instagram stories, starting with lunch at a rather unusual Little Rock Arc restaurant, celebrating 10-year wedding anniversary with fun getaway, grateful. Jill Duggar Dillard and Derek Dillard. In one video she says, "We're going to stop at All Aboard, which is this super cool train restaurant where the train delivers your food to your table. Our kids love this train. It's quite cute and really fun." One of the children could be heard enthusiastically declaring, "I see it," as she then showed a video of the family's automobile coming up to the fascinating restaurant. She said over the footage, "The most fun train restaurant was the perfect stop on our first day of travel." In the following video, a toy train with their lunch order hanging down could be seen moving on a track against the wall next to the restaurant. Once at the right table, the meal slips onto a metal plate that was then mechanically lowered down the wall to the tabletop. Recently, the couple celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary with another trip to Brandon, Mo. Following their courting announcement in March 2014, Jill and Derek married the marriage in June 2014. Jill Duggar congratulates sister Johannah with sweet behind-the-scenes video from her wedding to Stephen Wisman. To commemorate the momentous occasion, Jill posted a video montage of the 2 touring Silver Dollar City amusement parks and subterranean sites on August 1. "We looped back to Silver Dollar City to hit all the delicious restaurants we missed the day before. I had been very motion sick. Plus we visited stores we don't usually get to stop at when the children are with us, and we finally got to ride the newest attraction #fire in the hole," she said. Former reality TV star and author Jill Duggar Dillard has always been a bit of a pathfinder in her well-known family. Originally raised on 19 kids and counting, Jill has since developed a voice for personal development, spirituality, and family, therefore forging a path that is very uniquely hers. Her most recent excursion, a family road trip to Tennessee, was not unusual. But the unexpected first site Jill decided to visit attracted the interest of her supporters and admirers more than the last stop. As Jill and her husband Derek Dillard piled their 3 sons into the family vehicle, most individuals starting a family road trip may be headed straight for rest spots, fast food restaurants, or breathtaking vistas. The modest parking lot of a tiny local church in northwest Arkansas has personal significance, a symbol of her continuous path of introspection, healing, and self-discovery, not a theme park or a common tourist destination at this initial trip. For Jill, this church was not simply somewhere on the map, not random. Though some joyful, some challenging, this was a location full with memories, all rather personal. Her childhood church was not this little, whitewashed edifice with a tiny spire, rather, it was one she had found later in life, following her own path of religion from the safe surroundings of her renowned family. This break was more than just a spiritual pit stop, it was a means of grounding Jill before embarking on a road journey that represented much more than a family holiday. "We decided to stop here first since it is a place that has become special to me," Jill said in an Instagram post. "It's a spot where I found calm during a particularly terrible season in my life, and I wanted to start our journey by considering how far we've gone as a family." For Jill, this little church had become a haven, a place where her spiritual development outside of her well-known background symbolized her newly acquired freedom. She and Derek had spent hours praying and talking about their future moves under difficult circumstances, including negotiating the fallout from public attention, family conflict, and their choice to distance themselves from the reality TV focus. Jill's decision to stop first at this church was about honoring progress, not simply about nostalgia. Jill and Derek have been open over the last several years about their choice to cut ties to her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, and the conventional way of life associated with being part of such a big, conservative family. That choice was not taken lightly and accompanied a series of difficulties. Jill has freely shared in recent years her path to strike balance between respecting her ancestors and creating her own identity. She has been open about the difficulties she had breaking away from some of the tighter standards of her upbringing, like the courting regulations, homeschooling schedule, and requirement of always putting family first, even if it conflicts with her own limits. I have had to learn to stand up for myself, and that has been a big part of my story, Jill stated in a recent interview. It's not easy, particularly in a household where expressing opinions isn't usually welcomed. For my marriage, for my children, and for my own mental health, however, it is very vital. With this initial visit, her road trip to Tennessee many had imagined would be a lighthearted, pleasant family vacation quickly gained deeper significance. The trip for Jill was about psychologically and emotionally reflecting on where she had been and where she was headed, not just about physically getting someplace. Naturally, the road excursion had purposes other than introspection. For their 3 sons, Israel, Samuel, and infant Frederick, Jill and Derek are hands-on parents. Their vacation to Tennessee also provided an opportunity for the family to connect and create fresh memories together. Full of vehicle games, munchies, and ice cream pit breaks, the Dillards recorded their trip on social media and shared unvarnished pictures of their family life, away from the carefully controlled reality television scene. This road trip was in many respects a celebration of the family unit Jill and Derek had painstakingly created on their own. Creating a healthy, loving environment for their children comes first for Jill and Derek, as she has repeatedly revealed, particularly considering their particular experiences growing up in public view. Despite Jill's complicated emotions regarding her personal homeschooling experience, their decision to educate their kids reveals the attention they take in parenting. "We want our boys to have a comprehensive education," Jill said. "More than that, however, we want children to feel free to express themselves, ask questions, and be naturally interested about the world." Following time spent in the church, the Dillards returned on the road headed toward Tennessee. Their destination is the picturesque Smoky Mountains, where they intended to have some much-needed leisure, hiking, and family time in the great outdoors. They stopped a few more odd locations along the road that matched the couple's inclination for imparting historical and religious lessons to their kids. One stop was a trip to a historical civil rights museum, where Jill and Derek spent time imparting to their sons the ideals of equality and standing up for what is right, ideas they have both embraced in their own public and personal life. Praising Jill for being true to herself and utilizing her platform to inspire people to prioritize mental health, spiritual development, and family values in a balanced manner, her supporters liked the mix of family fun and deeper introspection. For many, the Dillards' road journey evolved from a glimpse into their lives to a narrative of healing, personal development, and the need of establishing limits. Jill offered a last comment on why this trip meant so much to her while the family was still traveling.